Hello everyone, this is In-Game Art with another box, another offline product gamer review. This is Klonoa Phantasy Reverie series for the PlayStation 4. Now this game here comes with Klonoa 1 and 2 Remake all on one disc. Now each game is treated as one individual copy, so it's not like it installs two different games. All games are played off of the one disc and both must be installed at the same time. So just keep that in mind because this game is just a base vanilla version of the game. So the update version is 1.00, but there was an update available. This update size was 1.2 gigabytes big and will take you to version 1.01 since the time I'm making this video. Why it's important to say that this is just one whole collection is it just says bug fixes in terms of the update. But I did play both 1 and 2 completely offline with unregistered account and without ever connecting to the internet, and I didn't experience any bugs or problems without my entire time of playing this game on my PlayStation 4 Pro. The only thing I ever noticed was after I beat a boss, the game kind of stuttered a little bit on the second one after beating the boss, but it wasn't that big of a deal, it was just a slight stutter. But everything else in the game worked perfectly and ran great. I never had any bug problems, crashes, or interruptions, or anything preventing me from progressing, or interrupted my experience in terms of immersing me. So overall, I felt like this game ran perfect. I can't imagine what this 1.2 gigabyte update is fixing, but as I've always said, bugs can be fickle as named, so I could go through an entire game and not experience a single bug, while you can play the entire game and experience every bug they has to offer. But as I said, I played the entire thing, 1 and 2. I even platinum the game. I 100% both 1 and 2, and I just had a blast with the game, and I had no problems with it. But keep in mind, this is a PS4 version, there is a PS5 version, and a Nintendo Switch version. I don't know how those experiences are, nor do I know how the PlayStation 4 here version will play on the PS5. We will cover that and check that out in due future when I finally get a PS5, because if you don't know, I'm a big fan of Klonoa. I have loved 1 and 2 so much, so when I played this and I finally got it in the mail, I dropped everything I was playing and doing and just immediately shot to play this game. I couldn't put this game down. I beat the first and second one together about 8 hours it took me. So 4 hours on the first one, about 4 hours in the second one. And there's still little things you can still hear and do, like gather 150 gems on every level, but this is not mandatory in terms of unlocking everything or unlocking platinums. But keep in mind, after you beat the game on 1 or 2, you will unlock hard mode, but after you beat it, you need to make sure you reload your save to unlock hard mode. So just keep that in mind. So right as you beat it, make sure to immediately reload your save, and it will unlock hard mode for you. So then you can exit out. I don't know why you have to do that, but just keep that in mind. But overall, Klonoa is a phenomenally well-made remake. Now, I'm a big fan of sprite graphics, so I still love the style of the original first one, as I do love the first one more than the second one. But these are such well-made games. I love the Klonoa universe, I love the Klonoa character, I love the gameplay and the mechanics. It's so simple but straightforward, but yet not too challenging in terms of where you're going to get frustrated with it, but not too easy where you could just go brain dead with the game. You can just sit back and relax, and it just feels fun to 100 complete this game. I've completed this game multiple times, and I'll gladly run through it all over again on PlayStation 5. On that note, I do want to point out immediately in this video that if you are hesitant on buying it, or you only bought one copy, let's say whether the Switch or the PS5 version, you might want to consider getting all the versions, only simply because Klonoa games always seem to tend to get expensive later on in the future. So I don't know how many physical copies there are available of Klonoa, this collection here, and it is disappointing that they've yet to do a physical copy for the United States. Hopefully we'll get one later with that 1.2 gigabyte update, but right now the only way you can get it is a PAL version or download, but I mean the Asia and PAL version is the only ones that can accept English. So just, I don't know why they're doing that, but just keep in mind you might want to consider getting all 3 versions if you're a collector and you're worried about like how expensive it could be later on to get a newer copy in case you lose one or something like that. So in my opinion, this was a phenomenal remake. It's a 10 out of 10 for me. I enjoyed this game, but keep in mind I love Klonoa, so I might be biased and being nostalgic blind and stuff like that, but I think the graphics did really well. The gameplay was smooth and fluid, though the platforming felt not as smooth as the originals, but once you get the hang of it and it's different styles, kind of like Crash Bandicoot Remake and Spyro Remake, the controls are slightly different than the originals, but over time you just get the hang of it. It's not that big of a deal. Story-wise, it's still really good. It's, to me, the story of Klonoa games always feel like some kind of fever dream, which kind of is the theme of the game, dreams. And it's just so wonky and weird, and it's just one of the things I love about it. But what I liked about the first one is that it feels very, mature for its cutesiness, especially the first one. Second one kind of leaned a little more in the cartoony anime-esque style, while the first one definitely had a different feel to it. Like, they were trying to really teach children a lesson about life and death and loss. It was very interesting, and I even got a little emotional, because emotional in terms of how much I love these games, and to see a full remake done so well, and the ending to the first one is such a unique approach, even though your friend is a knockoff version of a Teletubby. But overall, I highly recommend this. If you download it, do whatever you can, support this game. And I just want to say to support this game because I want a third one. I want more versions of this game. The only really complaints I could probably throw at this is that it only comes with 1 and 2 on the disc, even though there's many handhelds on the, I think, like the Game Boy Advance and the Nintendo DS. Not entirely sure on that. I don't know my handheld versions, but I know there's other Klonoa games out there than just 1 and 2. So it's a little disappointing that it's not a collage of every Klonoa game. Like, you just do ports of the originals. But what they did here was phenomenal. And considering the fact it was made on the Unity engine, which has a hit and miss in terms of performance, but they did a good job. Like I said, I didn't experience any problems or bugs in my entire time of playing this, even though I was concerned about it when people were telling me that the second one tends to have some... It has problems. I didn't experience any on my PlayStation 4 version here, but I have noticed a lot of people have been judging games based on the Switch version, which to me it seems weird how everyone's just obsessed with only getting the Switch version of games, especially third-party ones. And I highly actually recommend not doing that, because third-party ones tend to be a less of an experience on the Switch. I guess people really just want that portable experience. I don't understand it, while the console versions, like, let's say, Xbox or PS4 or PC, will be the superior version of a third-party game. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not dogging on the Switch version, but I really get aggravated when people tell me, oh, the second one's a little buggy. Okay, that's the Switch version. What about the PS5? What about the PS4 version? Then I don't know what it is. People just completely ignore those versions of the game. But overall, I had a great time, and I highly recommend picking up the PS4 version. Hopefully, I'll try to cover the PS5 version and play the PS4 version on the PS5. Maybe I'll get the Switch, because I take my own advice. I might get all versions of this game, because I just love Klonoa, and I highly recommend it for anyone. But I don't know, it's a big deal for me, and I hope we can get a sequel or a collection of all the handheld versions out there. But I think they did a phenomenal job, and it's really recommended. Great music, great characters, great universe, gameplay style. The remake is really faithful and well made. Don't have a single complaint, other than, like I said, that slight frame rate stutter in the second one after beating the boss. That's the only thing I noticed, and that's the only time I've ever seen a frame rate issue in the game. So, thank you all for watching. I try to leave links down in the description. Now, the links will lead you to the PS4 version, so just keep that in mind. If you want a PS5 version, go look for it, or when I finally cover it on my channel. So, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next unboxing video. Bye-bye!